Good evening. You're watching S24 TV News Live. I am Halima Abdulraouf. Tonight, a special dispatch from Katsina State. Our S24 TV team visited Katsina State, including Batsara local government area and surrounding villages. What we saw is a fragile hope returning. Communities once torn by bandit violence are tentatively rebuilding. Our lead consultant, Mr. John Costa, and local leaders speak to what peace and normalcy now mean for these villagers.
I'm here in Batsari local government in Katsina State. I'm out visiting some people in this local area. We've come to see them. Obviously there is insecurity, but there's also security apparatus in place talking about the security situation. We've even met someone that was a bandit himself who's now repented and was talking on camera about his experience and why he's decided to step away from it. And I think it's really important, particularly as a UK national, to be here where my government says I shouldn't be in a country that I enjoy coming to, that says you just got to go out and speak to normal people on the ground that are impacted by the banditry. You can see here around me we've got cassava laying on the floor being dried. If you're fearful of coming out your house, you wouldn't be able to carry on being economically active. You see the children, they're happy. Lots of football shirts behind me, a few you'd recognise from European football. And I think it's really important that people look at this story and the date and actually check their own social media for what is actually going on. And here I am as someone who's come to visit this place to actually show you what exactly it is.
When His Excellency the Governor was sworn in on 29th May 2023, he came to the realization that security is the major challenge in Katsina State. And he promised the good people of Katsina that security is going to be his number one priority. Security is going to be his number two priorities, and security is going to be his number three priorities. Taking into cognizance of the promise he made and taking into cognizance of the link between security and development, so His Excellency decided to have what we call security reform committee. We realize sometimes it is very difficult to deploy, to make a reinforcement during the attack in the communities that are hard to reach. So we trained over 10,000 volunteers to engage the bandit before the conventional security reinforcement to their communities. So we trained them, we kitted them, and we gave them all the support they require so that they will at least hold the bandit, they will engage them in fighting before the reinforcement come.
In Batsara local government areas, villages like Biakakwana, Gobarawa and Ruma, the loud silence of fear is slowly giving way to cautious activity. Markets are opening, farmers are returning to their fields. Life after months of displacement and dread is inching back.
Good being here today, being able to meet everybody. Everybody's come out, made us very, very welcome wherever we've stopped. And I think it's really important that we challenge the narrative that's playing out on social media about the insecurity that's here. So tell us what the situation is here at the moment.
In fact, you have come at the right time, because all the negative narratives people are selling out there is quite different from what obtains on ground here in Batsari local government area. I believe you can see this community. They are gradually coming back, which shows the community resilience, which shows workability of the peace deal reached with other groups that we have been relations, friends, and same community. Something went wrong, now we understood what we need to do, and things have started coming back to normal. Thanks be to Almighty God and effort of almost everybody in the society. I believe you can see it yourself. Agreement has been reached, whereby hostilities have already been ceased. People will gradually go back to their communities and look for the normal livelihoods, going back to the farm, going to the mini trades, some other skills that are locally based, so that the local economy, local peace, local development can continue from where it stopped previously. Well, in Hausa, there is a saying that even tongue and teeth do get some misunderstanding. Sometimes teeth will just match the tongue. So also if you are staying in a community, even within your family, sometimes you do get something that may not go down well with the other in the same house, the same family. So that's what it is, and it's normal to human community. It's normal to human beings. Just as peace scholars are saying, conflict is necessary, conflict is unavoidable, but can also generate chance for development as well as progress. So people have understood that being in peace is better than whatever people will continue to do otherwise. So peace has gradually returned, and people are coming back to their localities. People are picking up the pieces of their lives that were broken previously. Now you can see them very happy. See the children, see the married women here, and the husbands are here. So we too, we are all happy, and we praise the Almighty that has allowed us to reach this moment, and we are hoping for more in the nearest future.
Because they are introduced by this administration of Mr. Malan Dukko Umarada just a year or less than a year when he was sworn in as a governor, which he has that that's our idea for quite a long time. And when he produced these people, we have seen that there are a lot of difference for their work. We have seen a lot of progress because they were able to combat this banditry within the shortest possible time by attacking the informants, because that is the root cause of everything that happened. They are the people that report in and out, and in fact, they start with them. So we have seen a significant change when they started, and I think that is the architecture of what happened today, because they were phrased to the extent that they have to come and look for negotiation, and that is what we have done, and that is what we are enjoying for quite a long time now.
We've spent the last few hours in Batsari local government here in Kutsana State in northern Nigeria. We were invited to come and see what the security situation was like after interviewing the governor. I met the Honorary Commissioner for the Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, and we came to Batsari to meet with members of the Community Watch Corps, a local initiative where local people are recruited in order to fight banditry locally. Now, the reason it seems to be quite successful is they're recruited from the local population, they know the area, they know how to get around. And one of the things that became really obvious today, standing in the crowd, a very warm welcome from people. Lots of people have experienced banditry, is the fact that they are amongst the local population. I could have been standing next to someone that was involved in that. I think the story that was most interesting for me was talking to a local imam who had actually been kidnapped himself by the bandits. His family had been kidnapped, his wife, his children. He'd been to pay ransom to get his children back, and then they kidnapped him again. And he actually saw one of them, unrepentant, sitting as a member of his congregation on the Friday. I thought it was important that we came here today with our colleagues to tell you what it's actually like on the streets of Batsari and Rumah, where we were visiting. People came out, going about their daily business, women, children, people going about their commerce on newly constructed roads as part of infrastructure projects. So no matter what you hear and see on social media, this is me reporting live from Batsari, John Costa for S24.
On the national stage, President Bola Tinubu has nominated General Christopher Gwabi Musa, retired, the immediate past Chief of Defence Staff, to become Nigeria's new Minister of Defence, replacing Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, who stepped down on health grounds. The nomination was conveyed in a letter to the Senate, with the presidency expressing confidence in Musa's long military career and leadership ability to strengthen the country's security architecture. The unexpected resignation of the defense ministers stirred widespread attention across the country, coming at a time when national security remains a top concern for many Nigerians. The development has raised questions about what may have prompted the abrupt exit and what it could mean for ongoing security operations. We will be hearing from our correspondent Zainab Ibrahim, who has been out on the streets to gather reactions from citizens as the story continues to unfold.
The former Minister of Defense, Muhammad Badaru, recently resigned. And this is coming at a time when Nigeria is experiencing intense security issue. His reason for resignation was health issue. But for Nigerians, how do they feel about this new development?
I think the resignation came at a time that Nigeria is on a very serious situation. Security is a problem. I don't really expect him to just honorably resign and go away like that. For me, it shows that there is no any security architecture for the country, because if he has a blueprint of what he's going to do to secure Nigeria, I don't think it will be quickened for him to resign the way he did. And secondly, if you come to look at it, since the United States President classified Nigeria as a country of peculiar concern, I expected the Nigerian government with the security architectures to come together and have a definite plan on how to resolve these issues and secure the life of Nigerians, especially this issue of genocide or no genocide. I think everybody knows what is happening in the country. Nobody needs to be told. The country is not safe. People are dying every day. Everywhere has been taken over.
Changing the price is not enough. The government also needs to change the way they are handling the issue. Because if the person comes without changing some of the other departments, check where the lapse is, we may not get the result we are looking for. But changing of the price is also part of it. But government also needs to look at the other area, so that we change the way we are handling the issue of security.
If you ask me, I will not say that he resigned because of his health issue. He resigned because he were not given the chance to do the work that he's supposed to do. And if he go extra mile, they will go after him. So maybe that is the reason why he resigned, as in my own view. Security in Nigeria is not working at all. Like, it's not working. They are even treating them that have the ability to save the poor masses. They are treating their life. So it's better you resign than to lose your life at the process.
The people in the position should do something very important. You understand? If he resign, they should ask what is the problem and what made him to resign. You understand? And they should know how they will tackle the issue of security, because honestly we are facing a lot. I supposed to travel for this Xmas now, you understand, but due to the security challenges that we have been facing since, in short, I'm even scared of traveling now. I'm not even know either to travel or not, you understand, because now you never see food to eat. They're not going to kidnap person. It's another issue now.
About the sudden resignation, we also heard that the former CG, Christopher Musa, former defense, was the chief of army staff, right? Chief of defense staff, also visited Mr. President. I don't know if he's been nominated, but if he's been nominated, that means I think his resignation is based on mutual respect and for the peace of the nation. I think he feels that he cannot do the job, that somebody better will do it, that somebody that have the capacity, both in the intellectual, in the military. I think the former defense minister, I don't think he has any military background, but this one has military background, and he's going to head a defense, a Ministry of Defense, an office that talks about defense.
And in a related development, as a surge in abductions grips northern Nigeria, governors from the 19 northern states, alongside traditional rulers, are calling for an immediate 6-month suspension of all mining activities, warning that illegal mining has become a major source of financing and cover for armed groups. Meeting under the Northern Governors Forum and the Northern Traditional Rulers Council, the leaders also announced a new regional security trust fund expected to generate to 28 billion naira annually, with contributions from states and local governments. And Abuja residents and daily road users have continued to raise serious concerns over the rise in activities of tout, popularly called Agbero, across major junctions and bus stops in the Federal Capital Territory. Intensified in recent weeks, with motorists accusing the groups of harassment, extortion, and creating avoidable traffic congestion during peak periods. To verify these claims, our correspondent Zainab Ibrahim has more.
There's been an outrage on the road by road users regarding this motor park tout, popularly known as Agbero. What is their purpose on the road, and should they be allowed to thrive or to be abolished? All of these questions will be answered by the road users.
We have been complaining for ever years the way and the manners Agbero molest our people on the roads.
When you reach bus stop like this, we won't carry passenger. Then go remove your key. They go drag with you like say they want rope you.
Dragging key, you know, all those things. They just talk there to tout. Some of them don't even have ID cards. As a union ID card.
The other day, we almost had a terrible accident because the Agbero was dragging some change. He wanted the driver just stopped by to pick 1 or 2 passengers. He said that is his territory, so he cannot pick a passenger except he will give him some tips. And the driver said no, that he has been paying a lot, so he cannot. So it's really disturbing because you see, because of that, they were dragging, and you know, driver and steering and vehicles are passing. It's not a good one. So I think something should be done about it.
We are appealing to the government so that they should help us and not allow them to come and be molesting us on the roads.
And on the international scene, Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu defended her country's security forces, who stand accused of killing hundreds of unarmed protesters, arguing that the demonstrations after the disputed October election were not peaceful protests, but a manufactured attempt to overthrow from her critics and human rights organizations who cite satellite imagery, eyewitnesses' testimony, and video footage suggesting mass shootings and possible mass graves. President Suluhu dismissed the reports as exaggerated, insisted the opposition had refused to run legitimately in the election, and accused foreign critics of undue interference. And that's it on S24 News. And that's it on S24 News this evening. Stay with us as we continue to bring unfolding stories from across the globe, including Nigeria. Bye for now.